First, I understand that you know many churches, and before you accept to be Adventist, you have knowledge about many religions, and you choose to be Adventist. And the lifestyle of how we live is the most important your deal in your preaching.
That's most of my work, yes.
Yes. And I am interested about how you can explain differences between Adventist lifestyle with diet and from Judaism and maybe other mainstream Christianity in America, in Asia.
Well, what I have found
yes.
unique in Adventism is that we have information from Ellen White that a lot of them don't have information. And so they are still questioning, is this okay, is this all right? And they don't know for sure. But we know for sure. And so when I read her, I know when to quit something right away. She is very strong about vinegar. She's very clear about cinnamon. She uses the word. And so I don't have to say, oh, is it okay, maybe a little, you know. She says no.
Yes.
And so it's easy for me now to move quickly through the information, because as soon as they say something against what she has written, I throw it out.
Yes. You believe that Ellen G. White writes truth and that it is good for people. Is there any church with leader who is a woman, except Ellen White? Is there
Mary
any?
Baker Eddy of the Christian Scientists.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Is she have similar or different about the message from Ellen G. White?
Oh, very different.
Very different. In the opposite, maybe.
Well, I don't know how you would say opposite, but they don't believe that you need to go to a doctor, that you should be able to have faith to pray yourself well. So they don't use doctors. But even the best of them, when their child breaks a leg, they go to the doctor to have it set. Yeah, suddenly when a crisis happens, their prophet is not quite so accepted.
Yes. Do you think that Adventists choose everything from Judaism about lifestyle and eating, except maybe kosher?
In other words,
and Judaism, Jewish people.
Is ours the same?
Yes.
No, we go much farther. I think in Judaism you can smoke cigarettes, you can drink coffee, you can drink alcohol. So we go much farther. Just like with the Mormons, we go much farther than they do.
More than Mormons also?
Yes. Yeah. But if Mormons believed Brigham Young was their prophet, and they believe it,
yes.
He says, and I read this statement, I go with Moses on the health principles. Well, if he does, then the Mormons should not be eating fat and blood either. Because Moses is the one who said it in Leviticus 17, Deuteronomy 12, Genesis 9.
Yes.
So I had some Mormons that I taught, and they went to do some investigating, and they came back to me, and now they are vegans. And they said, Brigham Young says the same thing. And I said, then why don't you do it? And they said, well, these are actually like his letters. They're not official church statements. And I said, we have the same problem in my church. When we don't like so much what Ellen White says, we say, oh, that was for this person or this city. And so we can take and get rid of it.
Yes. And I understand your brother is also Mormon.
Yes, he is.
Yes. It's one digression. How you live in a family, everybody is some different religion. Is it American style of tolerance and freedom?
They won't discuss with me religion because they know they don't know what they believe. I tried engaging some discussions and they don't last very long. because they go, well, I don't know, or, well, my church says so, or, you believe what you want to, I believe what I want to.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not much for discussion.
Yes. And I read something about Amish people. Amish people, yes, in America.
Yeah.
And I compare Adventist and Amish, and I understand that Amish have not health rule about what to eat. They eat everything and don't take care. I accept because they live in a farm and have a good opportunity for that, but it is not what I know. Maybe you know something.
I don't know too much about them. I was in Missouri, where they are some, and I am told they make bad neighbors because they are not supposed to have a car or power tools, but they will always borrow the neighbor. And they will always say, can you please take us to town in your car? So they can use the sinner's car and power tool, but they cannot have it themselves.
Yes.
And so people don't like to live near them because they're always asking and borrowing.
Oh.
And so they said, you never want an Amish neighbor. They are very unpopular.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was in Amish community, but I didn't know. That's very nice.
Well, I always ask lots of questions when I
Yes.
go any place. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Okay, and it's about diet. Is there some research? I know about Adventists that they live more than other people in the same surrounding because of eating and everything we know. What do you think about that? Is it still working, or Adventists now are less obedient to rule how to
Yeah, I have heard some reports saying it's not very good as much, you know. But National Geographic came out with the 8 or so healthiest places of the people. Okinawa was one of them. I don't remember the others, but Loma Linda was selected. And I do know that a national magazine said, here are 10 guidelines to live to be 100. This came out, I can show it to you, a few months ago. And of the 10, number 8 said, follow the Adventists. And that was a very big promotion for us.
Yes.
But I hope they don't follow the Badventists.
Bad Adventist.
Yes.
Is there 2 groups of Adventists?
Actually, there's 4.
4.
There's Sadventists, there's Madventist, there's Badventist, and then there's Gladventists.
Can you explain little just this 4
Yeah,
types?
Sadventists are the ones who are not happy, always complaining, and they're always sad Ventists.
Yes.
Then there's the Badventists who are drinking and night clubbing and so on. So they're the Badventists, they're bad. And then the Madventists are the ones who are always complaining and gossiping and critical. But the Gladventists are happy in their walk with God. We can't focus in on each other too much.
Yes.
We have to focus on the Jesus and the message.
Yes.
That's what's pure. Humans are a mistake sometimes.
Yes.
And we're told not to look to each other, we are to look to Jesus.
Yes. Do you know maybe percent who is the dominant, or it's depend of the country? In one church maybe dominant is Glad Adventist, and in other
yeah, there's usually a mix in different ones. But once in a while I find a Gladventist church. Yeah. But we are in Laodicea now, and so we have to fulfill the prophecy. We are Laodicea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, it's very good. Now, I like to learn something about message you have about how to live here, to be healthy and to protect own mind from the bad society, or your life is for heaven, and you decide to be a glad Adventist, and how to live to protect yourself.
There's an excellent statement that says we are to guard the 5 avenues to our soul. And those 5 avenues are the 5 senses. Everything I hear, see, smell, taste, or touch is permanently recorded in my brain. And so I want to be careful what is being written in there, because I can recall it, I can bring it back. And so I want to put things in there which says in Philippians chapter 4 verse 8, whatsoever things are true, lovely, pure, of good report, if there is any virtue, any praise, think about these things. So I want those things coming in my 5 senses. So I am selective about my music. And we got into a taxi the other night, and the man had horrible loud rock and roll. And I said, can you please turn that off? And he said, what for? It's music. And I said, it must go off. And he says, but I like it. And I says, then I will leave your cab. And I got out. I wouldn't ride 20 minutes into his car listening to that music, because I was on my way here. And if I listened to that as preparation before speaking, I have too much bad, and so my friend Zoran, who was with me, was kind of surprised. He says, this man is shocked that you would get out of his car before you would listen to his music, because he doesn't understand. And a lot of people are just very ignorant. They don't understand, or they don't believe that it affects them. I can eat whatever I want. I can watch, and I know it's not a true program, but I am just having entertainment. No, Satan knows exactly what he's doing. He was the choir leader in heaven. He knows about music and how it will affect you. And the people in Hollywood do not kneel down and pray before they make a film. They're getting their information from Satan, because if you don't ask God to help you, automatically you receive Satan. And so I believe this is what Hollywood does. They get their material from Satan.
What do you think, which the best music to recommend our children? In our church we sing gospel, negro. What do you think? Is it okay, or which kind of music?
I think classical music is wonderful. It's very rich. And there are different kinds. There's light. There's what we call pop classical, which is a little more fun and a little more friendly with young people.
Yes.
But as long as the drums are the small part in the background, I'm okay with that. There's music from the 60s and 70s that's on the radio that I find very appealing. And I think it's nice music. It doesn't always have to be the old rugged cross or something like that. There is a lot of nice music out there, but you must be selective.
What do you think, this church music and music for good feeling? Can we use in a church the music of people who sing? And as in America, as in our church, I think there is two groups, or somebody like just old and low, and young people like this strong and with rejoice when they can sing and be happy, like happy day and something. What do you think about that?
This is a very difficult area to work, because music is personal.
Yes.
And for some people, this music is a step into the right direction. They are not prepared for the slow, quiet ones, And so I'm not going to say or judge that they are wrong. This is where they are. From my personal taste, I don't like it. Again, my test is the drums. You know, if it's hard, repeating over and over, I don't like that. I want harmony and melody. I don't want beating.
Yes, yes.
And so, and when it comes to bringing it in the church, I'm quite sensitive because I believe it's the sanctuary. I believe extra angels are assigned there. And so I want to be reverenced as being in the presence of God. I have music that I run to, that I exercise. I would not play it in church.
Yes.
I don't think it's bad music, but it is not appropriate music.
Yes.
Yeah. There's music that I sleep to. There's music I clean the house with.
Yes.
It's happy, nice going music. But it's not where I'm going boom like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there some research about how it's influencing children?
Absolutely.
That music.
Yes. And there's research also with plants and with animals. Cows produce more milk on classical music, less milk on rock and roll. Plants do very good on classical, they wilt on rock and roll. And their nervous system is not as advanced or developed as the human.
Yes.
So ours is much more susceptible to it and sensitive to it.
My daughter finished academy for pipe organ, and she's playing and we use in the church. And I never, in our country, pipe organ is strange instrument. We have not here, not just some Catholic church. But I don't know nothing about pipe organ, how it is influence on man. Why so many church include this instrument in church music?
I guess it just comes from our European heritage.
It's heritage, yes.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe powerful instrument. Maybe.
Yeah. I would not want to listen to it for an hour. It's just nothing that I appeal to, you know.
You don't tell me about Negro gospel. Is it okay? Do you like it?
Very once in a while, but not too often. More like at a campfire instead of for worship.
Yes.
They do what's called swooning, is the term that I'm familiar with, where they go, yes.
I understand.
I heard that today, and I don't like it. This is what Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, worldly men, this is how they sing. They stretch the note, wah, 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 and it usually means you don't have good quality, and so you're trying to use a gimmick, a little trick to cover up that you're not good.
Yes.
If you have a good, pure voice, very beautiful. Yes, but if you have a average voice, you want to do tricks to make it sound clever or interesting, because the quality is not there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is, in our culture, the instrument in the church are not used. Orthodox culture, just voice.
Yeah.
And every music is slow, and the church music is, different.
Yeah.
But Adventists have American style, and we sing here this West
more joyful.
Music, more joyful.
Yes.
And it's so different. And Adventist and Orthodox church is just incompatible. When people come here, it's no church for them. It's like in theater.
Yeah.
And when some Orthodox become as Adventist, he can't accept so joyful music, and it's problem for church here, Because of that, I speak with you about that. It's not just how to protect oneself from music, bad music, but it's cultural differences.
Yeah, and you can try and listen to different music. I mean, I've listened to what we call Dixieland jazz several times.
Yes.
And I can never like that, And I don't like blues music. It's very, I just don't like the way it goes, Yes. And I'm not saying for someone else, but for me.
Yes.
Yellow is my favorite color. Maybe that's not someone else's, but that's okay. But there are still some principles that we need to follow.
Yes.
I don't understand all of them, but I know music has to be very tricky because Satan is clever.
Yes.
And he'll say, I have to ask myself, do I like this because this is lifting me up? Or do I like it because it appeals to my emotion, my passion? There's what we call love-sick songs.
Yes.
Yeah, and they make you cry, and they're so sweet. And I'm a little nervous about those.
Yes. And because when we talk about what we eat for our health, also music can influence to be mad or to be calm and happy and stable as a person.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And the devil is busy. I pay attention to where the devil is paying attention. He's busy. Hundreds of songs every month come out.
Yes.
Hundreds of new products come out every month for us to eat.
Yes.
And so I look to see where he's busy because he knows he's effective here. And so wherever he's busy, I want to pay attention.
Yes.
Because I realize this must be effective, or he wouldn't waste his time.
Yes. Okay, and we talk now 20 minutes. Maybe we have 10 minutes to talk about food.
Okay.
And what is most important now to be health, and what to choose to eat, when and what, how many, what is wise.
The easiest rule first is to eat with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
As natural growing food as possible. And eat a variety of different foods, not at one meal, but throughout the week. Have different varieties. A lot of people make mistakes here because they only eat 3 or 4 kinds of fruit all the time, and maybe 4 or 5 vegetables all the time, and nothing different. And I try to make sure I get the different ones, because different ones have a little higher, a little lower combination of different nutrients. And so some of them are very unique in their nutrient. For instance, I need to be sure I have walnuts or flaxseed because omega-3, that's very limited. And so I have to pay attention that certain foods are in my diet because they are not very common in the food nutrition.
Yes. And about, you said very nice that our God is the best cooked. It's wonderful. And do you prepare this food, or you prefer to eat just how it is?
Well, I
like
suppose...
salad, like fruit salad, and...
those are all I eat raw.
It is the best.
Yeah, I just wash them and eat them. There are things that I cook. The grains must be cooked.
Yes.
Yes, and potatoes, of course, and beans. But when it comes to fruit and salad, most people eat them raw anyway. You don't cook a salad usually. Yeah, and so I like them fresh and natural.
Yes.
So probably 75-80% of my diet is raw. Yeah.
And about you don't eat milk, meat, eggs,
Or cheese.
Or cheese.
Yeah.
Just soya, and your amino. How you say this? When you don't eat meat or milk, you
vegan.
have not. Yes, you are vegan, and every day you must eat what you must eat every day because you have not animal
foods. Yes, you must have all the different fruits, vegetables, grains, and nuts, a handful closed, and about a half a cup to a cup of beans, because when you put beans together with grains, you get all the amino acids you need. Yeah.
And what do you think about bread?
dark bread.
Dark bread.
Yes.
Only.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, when you want a treat once in a while, just try to be careful and not make it too strong. Like if I have ice cream, I have soya ice cream. I don't usually eat cake because it's difficult to make it healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. I have more fruit pies or cookies because you can make those quite healthy.
Yes. And sugar and salt, do you use sugar in your food?
I use maple syrup, I use honey, but never white sugar.
Never?
No.
And salt?
A little salt, but I use sea salt, not regular salt.
And oil? Do you use oil?
Not
in salad, just to prepare food, or not?
If I use oil, I like to use the olive oil.
Olive oil.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't use a lot.
Yes.
They use a lot here. And it's not olive oil either.
Yes. Do you have a problem when you are going somewhere with your food? Because when I am going, I can't eat anything because it's not usual to find.
Yeah, in some countries, the easiest for me to do is go to the market.
Yes.
To eat. If I'm at a restaurant, most every restaurant has potatoes. They have salad available. They have bread available.
Yes.
And they'll have some kind of beans. And so I'm okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I go to someone's house, I tell them ahead of time if they ask me. I say, I have a zero cholesterol diet, if that is okay. I have to have that kind of a diet. And then if they're not sure, I say, let me bring the main dish. And you can make the salad and the vegetables and the bread. But I will bring the main dish, like a lentil loaf or some kind of a dish that is the main dish. Because that's usually where the big mistake occur,
Yes.
The lasagna with all the cheese,
yes.
Or the meat, or something like that, pasta with lots of cream in it and things.
Yes.
So if I make the main dish, usually everything else is fairly safe.
Yes. And how you feel when everybody sit and everybody eat different from you? And is there something you say, oh, it's nothing happened to me, I can eat once what everybody eat, or you are strict?
I have to be very strict for several examples. One is it can make me sick, and I can tell right away. The other is I think that we want to be an example to other and not a stumbling block, as the Apostle Paul says. So Paul says, if it makes my brother or sister fall, then I won't do it. I know the chocolate cake will taste good, but if I eat one piece, then someone else says, oh, I can eat this every day.
Yes.
And so rather than make them to fall, I would just rather not eat it.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't like it anyway.
Yes. I have many experience with people, and when I was in one conference, one man, everybody eat, he not, and everybody look at them, why he don't eat, he don't drink, and if he is Jewish, he is something else, and all reason is from religion, and all differences you can. And if I am organize one conference and there is different people like you and some Jewish people and when you are vegan, everybody can eat it and it will be okay for everybody. If
nobody has problem.
Nobody has problem.
Right.
It will be, but nobody never prepare the food in this way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there are some changes starting to happen. My translator today is going vegan.
Yes.
At the school. Yeah, he says he has lost 6 pounds.
Yes.
And he said he is so happy. He said, your presentation is so good. And so he's very happy about it.
Yes. Some people become when fight was there.
Yes.
And after that they start to take care about food, and it is very good to have you here to preach about that.
To repeat it again for
and
him.
to repeat, yes, and there is more new people who never listen about that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is good influence.
Yeah, good.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Maybe we talk 30 minutes now, and it's very good for me to have you here, but I don't know what is time now, and have you more time? Or?
No, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.